here. As you can see, I have removed the front section of the Great Hall once again because I have not touched it, basically. All the changes that I've done are to the section you can see before you right now, as well as this whole mess that I'm going to try and keep out of the frame as much as possible. The first thing I want to show you is the level of the tables inside. As you can probably notice, they are a bit higher. Why I've done this is that basically I've raised them by one plate upwards, and that is due to the fact that they were, especially the benches, were basically, they looked like they were glued to the floor, and it seemed just silly. And I thought, well, it doesn't really matter how high the tables are as long as they are corresponding to the benches properly. And this way, as you can probably notice, there is a gap now and it looks a lot better. So yeah, that's one of the things that I did. Now the other thing is these gargoyles that I've made. And as you can see, probably from the other side too, they're not quite there. There are gargoyles somewhere, some places, and some places there aren't, because I don't really have enough of those figures anyway, at least not on me right now. But yeah, the gargoyle is just the minifig from the Monsters mini pack, which is not ideal, I know. Ideally, we would want to have these gargoyles representing one of the 4 animals of the 4 houses, but we don't have figures that can do that, and I'm not really a fan of making these abstract shapes that could really be anything. I mean, I could make something and tell you, well, this is a lion, and but like I always say, when I build, I want to be satisfied with what I see, and I wouldn't be satisfied if I made something like that. That is not to say that I don't appreciate or admire people that focus or spend time doing such kind of abstract shapes, and actually some of them really look pretty nice, but let's just say I am not one of those people. Anyway, other than the minifigs though, I have made a way of placing these braziers underneath, as well as extending the columns themselves. These are not attached to in any way. They're part of the whole column, so I had to remove this whole section and place them. It was really important for me to kind of represent that these braziers are or torches, I don't know what they're called, but are being supported by the chains. And I think the way I have managed to do it, it kind of creates the illusion that they are, and it looks pretty nice. So yeah, I think job well done on my part. Also, this kind of left the door open for, you know, a change when it comes to the gargoyle, because these gargoyle figures are really nice. They could be used anywhere, really, not necessarily to be used in Harry Potter MOCs either. I can always sell them or trade them. They're kind of rare or difficult to obtain, at least in larger quantities, so I'll probably end up having 20 of those. So if I decide that I want to create that abstract shape, then I can probably just trade them away. Now, as you can see here, because here there is no gargoyle, it was really important for me to reach this section here, because if the minifig was resting on the edge of this stud here, this plate, then it kind of, the chains wouldn't work properly with the brazier underneath. So by us getting here kind of 1-2 studs and a half forwards, the legs are exactly above the fire, which is ideal. and it looks really nice, as you can see from the side. Yeah, that's an amazing angle, isn't it? Not really. And it actually it's stable enough, and that's always something that's very important. And also it was very important for these two dots to be like this, so the two legs can rest. I didn't want just one of the legs to rest on it, and I didn't want it to be off center, because again, this is a 3 brick thickness when it comes to the column, so I didn't want it to be a bit to the left or a bit to the right. So I think the whole idea was executed well enough. Maybe could be done better. I could think about it if I have the time or something illuminates me, but I'm planning to show you this in detail in these new series of videos that I'll probably be posting, or maybe one of them will be posted by the time this comes out. Anyway, I will show you again once all the minifigs are placed, but I think it looks decent. Now, the next thing, and that's the major thing, let me just turn this around without doing something stupid. There we go. The towers. Now, finally, I can show you how the towers should look, and hopefully they will not go through any more changes, because I probably have changed them like 5 times now. The other side is not completely done, because I still need a few more of these. It's very intensive when it comes to these pieces. And plus, one more thing, I have decided that I will place brown arches here, and I have ordered them. So I might have to remove this whole thing again, but the way I have built this whole section here, and even these towers, we'll go back to them in a bit, they can be removed in sections like this, like in pieces. Like I can grab this and pull it away, pull it away, pull it away, and it will be very, very quick. So it's not an issue to get through to the top side here and place them, and then just place it again relatively quickly, half an hour tops, all of it, if you're in a hurry. So yeah, no problem. So there we go. Here are the towers again, and I think it's really does look very nice from afar and close up as well. Again, we have created this shape here with these, and then mirroring here, and then the top side here is these pieces again, but inverted inwards. And this way we kind of have these holes from the side when you look at it. There we go. And I think it just looks very lovely. One thing I'm gonna do is, maybe you can see here, you can see the stud here, and I don't like that. We're gonna put more of these in here. So I'm gonna probably need another 100 of these or something, or at least 50. This is the back side of the gray hole, not the front side. The next thing is that I have moved this entrance was here, because we decided that the building, it's over there. There we go. Banished. It's gonna be thinner. It's not gonna be like this. So far, it's this distance here, and now it's not gonna work. We're gonna be more accurate, and we're gonna fit it here. Now, whether it's gonna be like here or maybe this, we'll see. But it was important to move this entrance from here underneath this opening. And I have also made the tray that was here, Sir Nicholas. Now this one obviously was different. It was lower here because I wanted this entrance to be facing this entrance. And once I moved it, obviously that didn't work. So I had to change this again, change the layout a little bit. Basically, what I ended up doing is switching this to the left as well as this. Instead of here being a wall and then another entrance here, corridor, another corridor here, I just made one corridor over there, which works. And just put this back, and I've made these little stairs here to connect, and this way also it's the reason it's not staircase, and it's kind of flat here is because this piece needs to be able to turn. Now I've removed the old one because I've ordered the one that doesn't have a sticker anymore, and I'll place it once it arrives. And I might also change this with a tan one or a black one because I don't want it to be brown. We'll see. Obviously this will have to be extended, but we'll talk about this another time. What else? Yeah, as you might have noticed from the very beginning of the video, I placed this flag over here as I was talking about, which means, oh, it's not there anymore. And the hat that was hidden in that kind of ugly shape that was popping here, I removed it and placed this little podium instead, and then I just simply placed the hat with this little trophy that for now represents the Hogwarts House Cup, or any cup you might want it to be, like the Quidditch cup. It doesn't really matter, just a cup. And I might end up making a little customized one there, but I think it's a lot better and a lot cleaner. The other option would be this to be completely empty. I know in the original there is some kind of painting on the walls here or something, but I didn't want it to be blank, so I decided just to put the hat there. I think it's nice. Now, one thing I want to talk about, and I know it might end up changing, but I still would like to mention it. Now, here, let's look at it from the front. The reason I have hidden these, now here I've not really used a piece like this. I've used this. See, it's not at a corner. It's basically it's straight, kind of. I don't know what to call it. Now the reason for that is so we can still have the front shape here without this sticking out, because if this sticks out, the whole section that slides in, kind of, this is in the way. And I tried to modify the front so there's like a little hole here maybe, and you can slide it anyway, and I might get back into that, but I didn't like it initially. And this section being there or not being there doesn't really bring, or we don't lose anything if it's not there. When I placed the section and I looked at it, and I thought, well, let's just place this and see how it works. And if I decide that, well, it kind of bothers me, then we'll just go back to the little hole here, but I really don't like that. Now I've done the same with the upper tower, which might not be needed because it just depends how I build it. If this is not in the way of the whole section when it gets positioned, then we might just make it normally. We'll see. I just didn't want him to be incomplete while I build on everything else. Anyway, that's about it really. Took a while to make everything, but I think it's good progress. Now, next time, I think I'm going to be doing some little modifications again when it's possible. I think I've decided to change these from brown to, or dark red, or whatever you want to call it. I think it's reddish brown, this color. 3 different sites call the colors 3 different ways, but anyway, I digress. Officially, it's reddish brown. Anyway, I decided to make them light gray because it will be the same. These podiums will be the same as the stone statues, and I think that's better. And we won't have this brown on brown action, or whatever you want to call it. Anyway, yeah, I will really try to figure out the clock here. I have been working on that. I mean, I did mention last time that I will be showing you this, but I have, just because I'm not showing you that part in this video doesn't mean I've not really done anything on that. I have done some calculations and some testing, and I think I have a good idea how to do it. I will try to actually build something that I can show you, and or build enough of it that is showable. So hopefully that will be next time. But one of the reasons this really appeals to me is that some people ask me, when is this going to be done? And all I can say is, I don't know. It could be in a few months. It could be in 2 years. I don't know. This whole project is changing all the time, and a lot of things have happened and will keep happening as I keep building, because more and more ideas keep coming to me, or I build something, it looks good, then as I'm doing something else, I decide that something else would be better, so I take it apart a little bit, modify it, change it, and I think that's a good thing, because this is a hobby that just keeps on giving, and it's one of the problems I've always had with hobbies, is it just gets boring and repetitive and dull, predictable so quickly, and for the time being this is not the case, and I'm kind of really excited to be building this, and as well as seeing some people on forums and on message boards that kind of say encouraging words to me that what I'm doing is interesting to look at. So yeah, that's always nice to hear. Anyway, hope you enjoyed this little update, and I will see you next time. Thank you for watching. Bye bye.